Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you how to convert a 1 or 2 layered SVG that is available in Cricut Design Space so that you can give it multiple layers and turn it into a 3D cardstock project just like this Cricut Cutie here. This is the design that we're going to be working with today, and I'm going to go through it step by step in Cricut Design Space, how to do it and how to achieve this look. So let's jump straight into how to do it. Right then, so we're in Design Space and we are going to get the image that we need. So if we just go over to Images, and then the number for this image is #M8558-287, and just press enter. So that's the one we want, so we're just going to click on him and then go down to Insert Images. And he comes up pretty small on the canvas there, so I'm just going to make him a touch bigger. And then I'm going to have a look over at the right hand side. So it says Cricut Buddy and it has got 5 layers at the moment. So we want to increase the amount of layers that he's got. So we're going to ungroup him and then we can move the layers about on the screen. Okay, so we can see we've got the back layer is the grey, then we've got his green layer, he's got white eyes, little black bits, and his arms are also separate. So we want to make a few changes and make a couple of new layers, and then we'll be able to put him together as a 3D SVG. Okay, so what we're going to do first of all is just click on the green, and I want to duplicate this. So I'm going to just double click and click on duplicate. So I've got 2 of those now. Let's hide one, and I'm going to hide also those. So let's just hide that one, and then we've got his arms here as well. So we want to duplicate his arms and just hide one set of those also. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we're going to need to fill in the eyes and fill in his mouth, and I'm also going to want this particular size of his mouth so that I can use that as another layer. We've got his top of his mouth, so that will be the top layer there of the finished file, but we need this actual white bit to be usable as well. So what I'm going to do this, and this is pretty easy to do, we're going to just grab a shape. So let's make a circle. We want to make it just big enough to cover his mouth. Okay, so just stretch the size of your circle so it's big enough for his mouth, and then what we want to do is just select both of those items. So select that layer and his mouth, and then we come down to the bottom and click on slice. Okay, and that has now given us that piece separately, so we just get rid of this and this and this, and then we bring back our bottom piece again. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is duplicate that one more time, and I will hide one of them. So now we need to fill in these spaces so that when our first layer goes down, we have this one, and then our second complete layout will be this one, but we need to fill in these gaps so that we can use this as a full piece of card. So let's go to shapes again, and we're just going to get another circle, and we will have to use a couple of shapes here because we can't get the exact size that we need. So let's get another one. In fact, we could just duplicate that one, can't we? So duplicate, just pop that there, and then duplicate again, and we'll pop that over his mouth. And then what we'll do is just select all again and weld that together. Okay, so that's made us now a solid shape. So that's going to be our second layer on there, and we've got his arms as well. So there's his little arms. Okay, now let's get this layer back so we can duplicate again. Alright, and I want to just fill in the mouth area now, so let's just get another circle. And we want to cover that up again, because we want his mouth to be quite prominent. So now let's weld that. There we go, that's our next layer. And then we'll get his eyes back. There's his eyes. Oops. Let's move that over there. Hang on a second. Okay, so there's his eyes. Let's just bring those forward. So just right click and center front, and then they'll sit on the top there. Right, now you can see that those are transparent in the center, so we need now to fill those in. So again, grab a circle and pop it onto your eye. Just duplicate it for the next eye. Select both of those pieces and weld that together. Now we've got a set of circles for the eye. Okay. I think we need to now get his other piece here. Will come on, so let's do that centre front. You don't obviously need to do as many layers as this if you don't want to. So I don't know whether we're going to need that layer. Right, so there is his face. Let's bring that one forward as well. And then we want his little eyes. So all these pieces that we're putting on, we just need to send them to the front. And I am going to just pop those in there. I think I'm going to do away with this piece. So then he's just got his last set of arms to come in. So move that to the front. And then that will go on the top there. And now he's ready to cut. So I've just ungrouped everything now and pulled it all to one side so we can see our different layers. So we've got the bottom layer, then the next layer, then the next layer, his eyes, his first layer for his mouth, and then his second layer for his mouth and his eyes. So I'm happy that that's ready now. So I'm just going to go up to make it. I'm just going to look at how the machine divides everything up. So we've got the white for the eyes, which is great. Then we've got the grey for the background. I might change that to black actually, because I think it might look better. Then we've got this darker grey. That will also be black, so we need to do a bit of adjusting on the canvas. And then for some reason, the machine has decided to use one mat for the full body section, and then it's done a second mat for the arms. So we don't want to do that. So first of all, let's just go back and change the colours of the grey to the black so we can get it all to cut on one mat together. So let's just change those to black. Okay, then what we're going to do next is click on Make It again. Now we should have reduced that down slightly. So there's our black pieces with our eyes and our two mouth pieces. Okay, and then we've got the green again on two mats. So if we go onto the mat with the arms on it and just click on Move Object, and then we can choose which mat we want to move it onto, so it gives us the options of what's there. So just click on Confirm, and then it brings it onto there. So let's do that again for the other one. So just go back onto the arms, click on the three dots, Move Object, and then again all the mats come up. Click on the mat that you want to move that piece onto, and it's at the top there. So now we can just actually put them exactly where they will be on our cutie when he's done. Okay, so that's great. Now we are ready to do our cut on the machine. So now we need to get our mats ready. So I've got my three colours of card. I'm going to be using this pistachio coloured card. This is actually from Hobbycraft. It's from one of their multi-pack cardstock packs. It's not that thick, so it should cut quite nicely. And then I've got a piece of black card, which again is from Hobbycraft, from one of their multi-packs. And then I just have some white scrap card. This is actually what comes in with greetings cards, just to keep them flat in the packaging. So I always tend to keep them, and I use them for projects like this where I just need a small piece of card. So those are the three colours that I'm using. I'm going to be using a standard grip Cricut mat today. So when we go on to make it on the machine, it's telling me that it wants to do the white piece first. So I'm going to prep the mat first of all for the white piece. So let's just grab that, and we're going to just pop it at the top in the corner. I'm going to use my brayer just to give it a really good press down, and then I'll just pop that into the machine and cut it out. The setting I'm using today to cut this piece is the poster board setting. Here's the first piece cut. So what I'm going to do is just flip my mat over and just peel that back, and then keep those nice and flat. I want to keep them in the order that they are because the Cutie's left eye is slightly bigger than the Cutie's right eye. So we just need to make sure that we pop them onto the finished piece like that. So keep them as they come off the mat. So now let's put the black on, because that's the next one to cut. And I'm just going to change my setting on the machine from poster board to cardstock for intricate cuts. And if you haven't got this setting on your favourites, just go into browse all materials and use that one. I find this better for a thinner piece of card. Sometimes you get dragging with your cut, and we don't want that to happen with our Cutie. So let's pop this in the machine and get this one cut now. Okay, so here's our last mat all cut. So we've got his arms on here and the two main body pieces. So let's just get this off the mat. We're just going to flip it over again and peel back the mat from the card. Here he is, he's all cut out and ready. So this is going to be the second layer, and then this is our third layer. Okay, so let's get him off there. If you struggle to get your pieces off your mat when it's like this, you can use the spatula tool, which is this one here. This actually comes in a set with the brayer, so it's a brilliant tool to use for this. So I'm going to just flip him over, and as you can see, some parts of him are coming up, but these little antennas are not, so it's nice to just give them a little extra helping hand with the spatula. Okay, and there's his other arm, and then again over this side, his little arm just needs a bit of help, and the rest of him is coming up. His little antenna looks like it might be stuck. There we go. And his last arm there. I've just layered everything up now to make sure I've got all the pieces that I need, so now he's ready to stick together. So to make him 3D, I'm going to use these foam pads from Boss Stick. You get 414 in a pack, so you get quite a lot of projects out of one pack. They are 5mm square, so that's what they look like. You get one sheet in a pack. But I've made loads of things with these and just don't seem to be getting through them, which is really good. So what I like to do now is just flip over my whole project. So I'm just going to get my spatula if I can and flip him over that way. Okay, and I want to start with my bottom piece. So let's just put some of these on to this piece, and the reason that we work backwards is so that we can see where we're going to put the sticky dots, because if I was working, say for instance with this piece, and I decided to put them on the front and then I put one right in the middle, and then I realise, oh no, that's where his eyes are going to be, and I've put that there and then it's in the way. So that's why we work backwards. Okay, so we want to pop them down, one on there, one on there, and then I'm just going to put a couple around his head and there. So I'm going to just do this now and speed it all up so that you don't have to sit through the whole thing, and then I'll show you at the end what he looks like. So here's our 3D cutie all finished. You can see his layers if we turn him to the side. You could always make more layers if you wanted to. I have made one with some glitter cardstock. So this is the cutie that lives on my wall, and as you can see he has 3 base layers to him and 3 layers to his eyes and his mouth as well. So you can make them as thick and as prominent as you want them to be, really. You can give them as many layers as you like, and it's just a case of duplicating your layers and filling in the spaces. On this one, all 3 of the green layers are actually solid layers. There's no gaps like in the one we've just done with the eyes. So that makes a big difference there with him. I'm just going to pop this cutie up on the wall now with my other one so that they can live happily ever after together. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that you found it useful. If you have, I'd love to see you again for the next one, so don't forget to subscribe. Drop me a comment down below if you've got any questions. All that's left to be said is have a great week, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye!